This video complements Peter Hollands' Bridge Probabilities Made Easy. It adds comments to highlight key points, includes additional examples, and offers a slightly different perspective that may benefit some viewers. However, if you haven't watched his video, this one might not be very useful to you. The link to his video is in the description below. Please watch it, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to his channel, which I believe is the best bridge channel on YouTube. Remember, the best finesse is the one you never need to take. Whenever possible, avoid or postpone it, hoping the opponents will lead the suit to you from the favorable side. Even better, compel them to lead it from there. Let's dive in. I'll begin by playing a short clip from Peter's video where he uses an example to illustrate the main points of his video. This starts at about the 5-minute and 10-second mark and assumes you understand Peter's review of 8 Ever 9 Never.
So here I've got two suits. Both of these we've got 9 cards. We've got spades, we've got 9 cards missing the queen. In hearts we've got 9 cards missing the 8 and the jack. And here, we know this spade suit. We know 9 cards missing the queen. We want to play for the queen to drop. But what about in hearts? What if we led the 4 of hearts and then we put in the king? What would we actually do there if East won the ace? We get back to the south hand and we lead up again. Should we finesse the jack or should we play for the jack to drop? Now, what I want you to realize is these two suit combinations are extremely similar. So here, let's talk about we play the 5 of spades and we put in the ace. So we take one of those. And similarly in hearts, we lead the 4 of hearts and we put up the king and that loses to the ace. Okay, so for both of these, we've played one round of the suit. Okay, the first one we won our trick. The second one we lost the king to the ace. But from here, if you think of how many cards the suits have remaining, well, the opponents started with 4 cards in both, and they're down to 2 in both. In both of these, we've got the top card, and then we're missing one under it. And that's it. And our question is, should we play for that to drop, or should we finesse? And in both of these cases, we want to play for the missing honor to drop. So again, let's just go back. So again, this is what the suits originally look like. And I want you to understand that you can actually transpose these. So after you play one heart to the king and it loses to the ace, this is identical probability-wise to this suit. So here, with 9 cards missing the queen, or 9 cards missing the ace and jack, after we lose one to the opponents, they are the same. So with this, we want to play for the jack of hearts to drop. We want to play for the queen of spades to drop. So another way of thinking about it is if you play one top card and lose a trick to the opponents, so king to the ace, we can effectively just drop down one honor in that chart. So instead of it being 9 cards missing the queen, we've lost an honor to the opponents. We've knocked out one of theirs. Now it's gone from the queen we're missing to the jack, and they're equivalent here. So here we can look at these suit combinations and go, okay, we want to play for the jack to drop here.
While the following might be obvious to some, keep in mind the title of this video. This method is applicable only when 1. The finesse card you're missing is ranked lower than the chart's missing honor, and 2. The opponents possess a higher honor, typically, but not necessarily, the ace. Additionally, if you need to move down 2 positions on the chart, the opponents must hold 2 cards higher than your missing card. If they hold only 1 card but you need to drop down 2 positions, you can still force it out or hope it is played to improve the odds of the finesse working. Aim to get as close as possible to the inflection point between always finessing and always dropping. Alright, let's watch Peter's example where there is a 7-card suit and is missing the 9. Since the missing honor from the chart for a 6 or 7-card suit is a jack, it's clear that we need to drop down 2 positions on the chart. Therefore, 2 higher honors must be missing from your combined hands. Here's the video starting at 8 minutes and 55 seconds.
So let's look at another example. So here we've got the spades. I brought this up earlier. We led low towards the jack and we lost to the queen. And then we got back to the south hand and we led low towards the king and we lost to the ace. We get to the north hand, we lead another spade towards the 10 and the 8. And we're thinking, we haven't seen the 9. Should we finesse or should we drop? So this here is effectively equivalent to Ace, King, Queen, 10. So the 7 card fit missing the Jack. And what we want to do is play for it to drop. And I'll show you that. So let's just see how these two different suits are similar. So here in the story I was talking about, we played the 6 and we led up towards the Jack and that lost to the Queen. So here we started with 7, the opponents had 6. They're down to 4 cards. So here I'll keep the hearts the same. Let's say we play the Ace and the 7. Okay. And then in the next story, we went back to the south hand. We led low towards the King. So here we play the 7 of spades, we play the King, and that loses to the Ace. Okay. The opponents are down to 2 cards here. So again, let's just pretend like we play another heart. So we lead the 8 towards the King. And now we get to the point of should we play to finesse or should we play to drop? In both of these cases, the opponents are down to 2 cards by the time we play the final round. We have the highest card and we have the one below it. And in hearts, we have the highest card and the one below it. It's exactly the same. You can transpose these situations between each other. And with 7 cards missing the Jack, we know we want to play for the drop. It's 4% better than taking the finesse. So in both of these cases, if you don't have good information, you want to remember that you want to play for the missing card to drop. Let's just bring the suit back up to start off with. So these are the two that I wanted to show are equivalent, that after we play to the Jack and after we play to the King, they're the same and we want to play for the 9 of spades to drop. So what I recommended before is anytime you play a card and one of your honors loses to one of theirs, you can effectively drop down the missing honor part of that chart down 1. So with 7 cards missing the Jack, we want to play for the Jack to drop. But in spades, we played a spade to the Jack and it lost to the Queen. So now we go from talking about the Jack to the 10 with 7 cards. And then we played a spade to the King, and that one lost as well. So instead of the 10, we're now talking about the 9. And here you can see that with both of these, playing for the final card to drop is better percentages than actually finessing.
Now, let's consider a situation not covered in Peter's video. What happens if the opponents take a trick with a higher honor, and you don't play one of your higher honors on it? For example, if East leads a low heart and West plays the Ace as he can see the King in the dummy, do you still drop down on the chart? The answer is no. Let me explain why and how to handle it. In this scenario, if we play the Ace of spades and the 5 of spades from one hand, and the opponents play the Ace of hearts, we respond with the 4 and 8 of hearts. This results in the following situation. As you can see, the missing honors are the spade queen in one hand and the heart jack in the other. Unlike in Peter's video, these hands are not equivalent because the heart king was not played. Don't worry, I'll explain how to handle this in the next few slides. The spade hand shown here is equivalent to the heart suit if the opponents cash the Ace of hearts. The way to think of this is simple. Initially, in the heart suit, you had a 9-card suit with the King, Queen, and 10, missing the Jack. So you need to have a higher honor fall on the opponent's higher honor to drop down the chart, as Peter taught. But if the heart ace is played without one of your higher honors, treat it as if the ace was in your hand, even though you don't win a trick with the ace. Therefore, you effectively have a 9-card heart suit with the Ace, King, Queen, and 10, missing the Jack. The chart indicates the missing honor is the Queen, but in your case, it's the Jack. So, play for the drop according to the rule that when the missing honor in your hand is lower than the chart's honor. Now, look at the spade suit. The two suits are equivalent after the Ace of spades is played, and the opponent's Ace of hearts is played. The next slide will illustrate this. This is what the hand looks like after the Ace and 5 of spades have been played, and the opponent's heart ace pulls the 8 and 4 of hearts. Notice that the spade and heart suits are equivalent, and you do not need to drop down the chart since the missing honor in your hand is lower than the chart's honor for the suit count. You just play for the drop. In closing, I'd like to explain how I approach hands like these. Let's revisit Peter's first example. During play, he determined that the heart suit had become equivalent to the spade suit. However, I view it differently. Neither approach is wrong. The best method is the one that works for you. For me, Thinking about dropping down the chart and realizing it has become equivalent to another hand during play is challenging and causes me to lose track of other things. Here's what I do instead. At trick 1, when the dummy comes down, I calculate a small number and then play for or hope for higher honors to fall on higher honors equal to that number. For the heart suit at trick 1, I count the suit and note the missing honor. I have 9 cards and am missing the jack. Then, I consider the chart's missing honor, which is the queen. The queen is 1 rank higher than my missing honor. Therefore, I need 1 higher honor to fall on an even higher honor. I only have to remember that number and whether my suit count was odd or even, as that dictates whether you play the drop or finesse. Also at trick 1, I try to determine if I can force it to happen. In this case, I can force the ace out with the king. Remember to play for the drop as the suit count is odd. Again, all this is done at trick 1 when the dummy comes down. Instead of dropping down the chart, I consider my missing jack to have been promoted to the queen. I call this finesse promotions, similar to the concept of trump promotions. Now, let's redo his second example my way. When the dummy comes down, I count the suit, 7 cards. My missing honor of interest is the 9. Because to do this, the missing honor has to be below the chart's missing honor. According to the chart, the missing honor is a jack, which is 2 ranks higher than the 9. Therefore, I need 2 finesse promotions. I also note that there are 2 missing higher honors, the ace and queen, so I can achieve this. Remember, to drop down the chart X amount of times, you need to have X amount of missing honors above your missing honor. The same applies to promotions, as I am just doing it the opposite way that Peter does. Then, I look for ways to force the promotions. If I can't, I have to play or hope for them. In this case, if I lose the 2 higher finesses, I get the 2 promotions needed for the 9. And remember, for the 9, you play for the drop. Thanks for watching. I hope you found value in this video. Like it if you want, subscribe if you want,